Hi everyone, my name is Bernadette and I am a wedding and creative business consultant. I've been in the wedding industry since 2002. One of my roles was as a wedding planner, independent wedding planner, organised hundreds of weddings. I also own a membership and training organisation in the UK, and throughout my nearly 20 years of running that organisation, I've trained thousands of wedding planners. You could say I adore the wedding industry, and specifically I adore the people inside it. I want to see wedding businesses thrive year after year so they have a profitable business, giving them more freedom, joy, and of course, profit as well. In today's latest installment, I'm going to be talking to you about collaboration, not competition, in the wedding industry, something that I am so passionate about and have been since I first started my wedding planning business in 2002. Now, as always, a little request here from me at my little channel here. If you could hit subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. And let me know anything that resonates with you down below in the comments. And if you prefer to read rather than watch, then again, just click the link below and it will take you straight over to the blog article where I talk specifically about this subject. Now, when I first entered the wedding industry, my friends and family could not understand why I was so insistent on making connections with fellow wedding suppliers. They didn't understand it, and they most definitely thought I was bonkers for training wedding planners and mentoring business owners. But for me, I saw the bigger picture. As cliche as it sounds, I knew that together we were stronger. And of course, over the last 21 years, there have been many people that still disagree with my ethos, and that's okay. But I still believe so strongly in collaboration. I see so much strength in coming together, of working together. A wedding planner has an overall vision for the day. They can see the bigger picture. A photographer will know the best poses, lighting, location to capture the best shots. A venue will understand what works best logistically for the service setup. A stylist will recommend all those little touches to elevate the design. Why wouldn't you work together? Why wouldn't you ensure that you're all coming together to provide the very best service for your couple? Because if all you do is concentrate on your little role, if something else goes wrong, it's going to have an impact on what your little part is. Instead of just thinking, well, I did my job, why not instead work with your fellow suppliers to ensure that the wedding has gone off without a hitch? I couldn't help doing that little nugget there. So you get the picture. So why the egos? Why not listen and respect the talent around you? I've seen instances, specifically in the last couple of years, of suppliers backstabbing other vendors, primarily just to make themselves look good. It's not a competition. You all have the same goal in mind, ensuring that the couple have the very best wedding ever. Also, little warning, the wedding industry is small. People will talk. And if they find out that you have been talking about other suppliers, if they find out you're being disrespectful, that you're talking about them to not just other suppliers, but the couples themselves, do you think people are going to want to work with you? You know, what goes around comes around. I definitely believe in karma. And far better, and I'm going to talk about this in a second, to work together with your fellow peers so that you can support each other. After all, you only work with a wedding couple once. Suppliers you're going to be working with potentially again and again. Wouldn't it make sense to nurture those relationships? Now, there are situations where you will need to step in, especially if the supply is out of their depth. But genuinely, this should be done in a supportive way. I remember many years ago, I was coordinating a Hindu wedding. So it was a dry hire venue. The couple had hired in caterers that hadn't actually done a wedding of this size before. And despite me informing them what they needed to bring, how many staff, how many crockery, how much linen, and all of that, it was a disaster. Now, did I just stand back and let them suffer? No, I solved problems. I made sure that, okay, I could find some linen for them. I went to a local hotel down the road to get crockery. Myself and my assistant washed up glasses because they didn't bring enough. We were serving people because they didn't have enough staff. I negotiated with the venue to hire more staff. So it's not about just stepping back and letting, suppliers fail. It's offering the help when you can, because at the end of the day, the most important thing is your couple and their wedding. Now, you've probably heard about community over competition. You've certainly heard me bang on about this. It's one of the main purposes of the UKWP. It's all over social media, and it even has its own hashtag. In fact, if you search community over competition on Instagram, today it's got about 5.3 million posts, I believe, offering guidance, support, and friendship to followers. So this isn't something that's going to go away. But what does it actually mean? And can community over competition actually help you in business? Put simply, it's about connecting people. One of the things I do here in my consultancy business is I'm ensuring that my clients are making relationships with others that can support them in their business, making connections with people that are going to be benefiting their business, building genuine supportive relationships with others, and putting people above commercial gain. It's all about positivity and building those positive relationships that are actually going to benefit you. And they could benefit you in a number of ways. That could be monetary through referrals, but it could be, press exposure. It could be connecting you to somebody else that's going to be bringing you money. You never know where these connections will go. So let's just run through a few things. So first of all, how can you bring harmony on the wedding day? Is there anything worse than working at a wedding where there is friction with wedding suppliers or planners operating with an egotistical manner, reminiscent of a Disney villain? I'm sure we have all been there. You cannot hide such chaos from the couple nor the guests. So how will that look on you? When I was a wedding planner, many of my suppliers have been working with me for years, in many cases over a decade. The result was a well-oiled machine. We respected each other's roles, we listened to each other, we helped way outside our job remit. And most importantly, we trusted each person's role within the wedding. You cannot expect longevity in this industry if you do not build up strong connections with your peers. My suppliers had my back and I had theirs. Now, don't get me wrong, our prime focus was ensuring that the wedding was perfect, but we worked in harmony together. You never know what happens on a wedding day, especially true if you organise marquees, because it doesn't matter how well you organise it, things will happen. That's a whole other blog post that maybe we'll talk about another day. So what can you do to build up similar trust in each other to ensure harmony on the wedding day? So if you're a wedding planner, ask suppliers, is there anything that they need from you on the day to help them perform their best? Send them the final itinerary, contact list, directions, any offloading or unloading information, I should say. Send images when that's helpful. Have you checked about any equipment that they need on the day to be provided? What about electrical points? Are they entitled to a meal? Have you asked about dietary requirements? Now, listen, I know that this sounds so standard, but it's amazing how many planners forget to ask the basic questions. And why do I know? Because suppliers come to me saying they're working with a planner and they're not being provided the information they need to do their job. So if you don't know the questions that you should be asking, get in touch with me because I've got a download that can help you. But it's important that you know the questions to ask the suppliers so that they can do their very best. So how is it that you can help them? Because actually that's your role as a planner. Suppliers, if there is a planner, don't be scared to ask more about the day. Invariably, they will know more than their clients, especially if it's full planning. The times I was in meetings with my clients and suppliers or the venue, where they would be directing questions to my clients, and my clients would literally shrug their shoulders and go, I don't know, ask Bernadette. Don't be offended if you have limited contact with your clients. Remember, the whole reason why they hired a wedding planner was because they didn't really want to plan their wedding. They don't want the admin. They don't want all the phone calls and the emails. So by bombarding them, you're probably just going to irritate them. Instead, email the planner, but copy in the client so they know that it's being handled and they know that they don't have to actually respond to it. But if there isn't a planner, just ask who a key person is that you can get in contact with. Ask, do they have a supply list that they can send you? Maybe touch base with suppliers that have an impact on the role that you have. Let them know that you'll see them at the wedding, and any information that you think might be helpful or useful. Don't forget, after the wedding, this is going to come in handy when you are going to be promoting them. Which leads me very neatly onto my next point, which is about being a cheerleader and meaning it. Don't do it just for the sake of it. So what do I mean by this? I mean liking and commenting on Instagram posts, offering useful advice, not keeping industry secrets to yourself, being on hand when someone needs support, being kind. It's an essential part of the community. If you're sharing images from a wedding, tagging in all the other suppliers as well. If they're sharing an image of a wedding that you've worked on together and they didn't tag you, comment on the post and say it was loved working with you, but send them a little message. Say, hey, can you tag me in on that? It also means learning to celebrate the success of others when they book a new client, win their biggest project, or get a shoot published. Being part of a community means that you're genuinely happy for them, inspired to create your own success, as well as knowing that there's a group of people waiting to celebrate your success as well. But little caveat here, it doesn't mean that you pass on all your knowledge for free. You invested your time and your money to get to the level that you're at right now. Giving that knowledge away disrespects all the hard work that you have put into your business. Most importantly, if you've paid for courses, don't give people free access to your course. If you've paid for contracts, don't give people free access to your contracts. They need to pay for those things, okay? You cannot expect to have everything for free. Because actually by doing so, you're belittling the value of the wedding industry as well. I'll have a blog post. Okay, collaboration. The wedding industry is a great place to learn about working together, whether it's a team of suppliers helping each other at a real wedding, coming together to create an inspirational shoot, or teaming up to launch a new project. I've seen so many instances of this year, and it makes me so happy. I cannot say how happy and proud it makes me to see this happen. Collaborating with others in the industry, it's just a great way to create something new, but it's an opportunity to meet new people, learn from others, and grow your own knowledge and experience as a result. It's also important to say here that collaboration doesn't always mean working for free. So members freelance for each other. We have like a freelancer rate, and in fact, lots of non-members follow this as well. So, pay for the people that are going to be supporting you in your business. That's really important. You should be compensated for the time and the value that you are given. Okay, we're nearly done. The fourth thing that I want to mention to you, and the final thing I want to mention to you, is referrals. When you get fully booked as a business, instead of just saying, not available, sorry, good luck, pass that work on to up and coming wedding businesses who would be delighted to have that referral from you, or pass them on to anyone else that you know that provides the same level of service that you do. This also gives, if you're doing it to a new business, it gives them a chance to gain more knowledge and experience, elevate their client base, and get inquiries they may not have already received. So why should you care about this? Okay, you should care for a number of reasons. One, the quicker that they can build their business, the more that they will increase their prices, and it will ensure that there is a level playing field in the wedding industry where no one is undercharging. Also, you don't know where that business is going to come. They may well be in a position before you know it where they're referring business to you as well. So don't just say, I'm not available. Think about who could you refer that job onto. It's also about recognizing if you're not the right fit for the client. So perhaps you didn't connect with him, you didn't like them, you didn't really like the description of the wedding. Maybe you don't have the appropriate skills. Or maybe your business is elevated now and you no longer have a service at that price point. So knowing that it's okay to say no, but also knowing that actually there's someone else that probably could benefit from that, because you never know how that's going to benefit you in the future. Karma definitely pays out in full. So that's my views on collaboration within the wedding industry, coming together, learning together, supporting each other, really embracing the community over competition. I would love to hear your views, so pop them down below in the comments or connect with me over on social media and chat with me there. I hope you have enjoyed this article. Just a reminder that if you haven't done so, if you can hit subscribe, I would really appreciate it. And I can't wait to see you in our next episode discussing who knows. Until then, take care. Catch up with you soon. Bye.